Hi, friends. We didn't. That's just our face. It's Wednesdays with Whitney. It's really late. This is my latest one ever. It's because I've been spending all day long with my bestie in the whole world. She's here in Des Moines, experiencing all that Des Moines has to offer.
Bad influence.
Yes.
And always late.
Look at that face.
Look at this.
Look at that face. Oh my gosh. So he's back there hanging out with us. He's been hanging out all week and
True
week
story.
with us. Yeah.
My mom's watching.
Hi, Mom. Good to see you. Okay, so I only have 11% left on my phone because I have not been attentive to this all day. So we're gonna get in and get out and just tell you everything that you need to know. This whole episode that's gonna last approximately 7 minutes is about friendship.
Friendship.
Because
Friendship
we
is
have
magic.
friends. It is magic. So those of you, this is Natalie Sinisgalli. Sorry, I missed that step.
What up, Mom?
So for those of you who don't know my origin story, I moved back to Des Moines 3.5 years ago from Rochester, New York, where Natalie lives and has always lived. I actually worked for Natalie for 4 years.
True story.
True story. She owns a portrait studio, shoots weddings. It's literally where I learned how to shoot.
You
100.
were talented.
I came with some stuff.
Yeah.
You know, but like.
That's how you like shooting for money, in a way.
Shooting for money.
It's a little different.
Doing that. So we worked together for 4 years. I was her studio manager. I also shot my own weddings. We shot weddings together.
Yep.
There was a large portion of our 4 years together. We shot 30 weddings a year together.
Yes.
On top of.
It was a lot.
It was a lot of weddings.
Hundreds of portraits and
Hundreds of
seniors
portraits and all day long, every day.
Yeah. We did it.
Yeah.
We put the time in together.
Yeah.
We were together all the time. Like, the amount of time that we worked was crazy.
Yep.
And then we would just do it again the next week.
And then I would just
Or the
show
next
up
day.
again. Very next day.
It was a lot.
There
And
were-
sometimes
and-
we would even hang out.
Yeah, that happened. And then on Sundays, I would remember, we'd work Monday through Friday because the crazy thing when you run a portrait studio, don't just shoot weddings, is that we would work Monday through Friday. We would
like a 50-hour week.
Oh, absolutely. We would be like, we're totally going to take Tuesday off.
Yeah.
That never happened.
Because then we'd work 14 hours on Saturday.
Yeah.
And then on Sunday, you're basically broken.
Absolutely broken. 100. I remember living in a third floor walk up and being like, how do I get
there?
up there? And then I would call her on Sundays and be like, are you feeling what I'm feeling?
Yeah, like, hey, what's going on?
Yeah, like, can we just talk about that wedding that we just shot? Because sometimes it was like, the weddings that make you want to cry for
all
good,
the reasons.
good reasons.
Yeah.
The weddings that make you want to cry.
Any collection of reasons.
Could be anything.
For crying.
Yeah, so that was the base of our friendship. But, working together was the base of it.
Yeah.
But we didn't start out as friends.
No. We started out as, like, we had a very formal, like, interview process of sorts.
Where I was the only person she interviewed.
Yeah, I think I told her that too. Neither of us really had a ton of game at that point.
No.
We're not the, like...
We're both
Did
probably
you
the
swear
most...
on this at all?
No.
Oh, okay.
No swearing.
We weren't the powerhouse women that you know and love us as today.
We were working on it.
But with the ingredients were there and the makings
Yeah.
of it. But, like, her interview process was basically, like, real cash. She sent in a resume that, like, had my branding colors by accident.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, this seems like a good fit.
And I interview really well.
She so does. Can I actually just share? So... here was my only hesitation with Whitney. I was worried that she was a little bit too, like, prim and proper.
Yeah.
That was my takeaway from that interview, and I was like, ooh, I don't know if, like, we can drink together.
I don't know
or,
if
like,
we can hang.
Yeah, that was my takeaway. So,
I don't
that
know.
wasn't an issue.
Wasn't an issue. To what extent, you probably all watching have a slightly different experience of my
We got through it.
prim and proper level, but it's pretty low. So
Posture was impeccable.
my posture is
Michelle
always
Book,
impeccable.
I need you to know.
Thanks, Mama.
It was impressive.
You taught me
yeah.
everything I know. It's real humid out here tonight.
It is sticky.
Um,
We're in Iowa.
We're in Iowa. So yeah, interviewed well.
Yeah, and then I literally, like, I think you shot a wedding with me, like, a day and a half later.
Yeah.
Like, it was right then.
And it was a travel wedding. So I got in a car with her, barely knowing her, 6-hour drive.
6 hours, yeah.
For a wedding of a high school friend of yours. College friend of yours. So I am walking into a college reunion and I'm like,
yeah,
and she's like, you can stay and party. And I'm like, yeah, no.
That's so true.
Definitely not gonna do
my
that.
gosh, yeah.
Gonna go back to my hotel room.
There was a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it just continued to be our second wedding together. Chinna, if you're watching this, Jesse, hey, our second wedding together was a 4-day long Indian wedding affair to remember. Still a wedding we talk about because we loved it and also barely survived it.
And we're friends with
and
the
we're
bride
really
now.
good friends with the bride and groom.
Yeah.
So if you're out there,
So
but I was like, is this your life?
Yeah.
And then it became my life.
It was very quickly your life.
It was very, and so I'm a human that can't do anything halfway. So when I became her employee, oh my gosh, hi Nicole, one of my
hi.
NST brides, yay, good to see you. So I am someone who, like, if I'm in something, I'm 100 and 1,000% in it. So
I can attest to that.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so you gave me a ton of a ridiculous amount of freedom, which
Yeah.
I appreciate. Now as a business owner, I'm like, wow, she did it.
Could have gone either way. I mean, you earned it every step of the way. Like, you never gave me a reason to not do that or to regret any ounce of it that I gave you. So it wasn't like but that's, like, I think as a business owner too, like, you can attest to that now. Like, that's something that you sort of judiciously dole out and just see how it goes, and then, like, just keep pushing that and see how far it goes without consequence.
Totally.
But it's a learning experience. It's a very interesting way to start a friendship, actually. And if I had to guess, I think probably few friendships would, like, overcome the, like, there's a hierarchy, right? Like, if like, I would hate whenever we would hang out on the weekends and Whitney would be like, oh, this is my boss, and I'm like, oh wow, way to kill the buzz of, like, a social engagement. Because now people don't know how to interact with me. They're like, oh, like, do we not swear in front of her? Or, like,
The second you say boss and everybody
adults, like,
shuts
hide
up.
their alcohol. I'm like, what? Like, we're the
it's
same
not that
age.
kind of boss. Hi, Steve. One of my grooms from
hi.
NSP. Oh my gosh. A lot of Rochester folks
collection.
hanging out here tonight.
I love it. But yeah, and I think that that's, like, something that, I mean, the day that you, I mean, well before then as well, but, like, the day that you left, like, it was just, like, over, and, like, we've been best friends pretty much ever since.
Yeah. And I think that what we've, now our friendship is divided by
Carrie
16
Klein.
hours. Hi, Carrie! Yay! It's divided, but it's like, I mean, we talk on the phone a couple of times a week.
Yeah.
And I think we talk a lot about, I'm like a big friendship person. I think that's the thing that I would say that I am best at.
I would, and Whitney's good at a lot of things, and I would, like, 100, no one's true. I would absolutely agree with that. I think Whitney taught me more about friendship than anyone in my entire life. Don't be emotional, it's fine.
Okay.
But it's true, like, this woman is, like, fiercely, you prioritize your friendships, and you talk about them as friendships in a way that is different than I think most people do. You think about them. Like, they're not just sort of something that you take for granted and, like, oh, this is, like, my friend. Like, it literally means something to you. That word means something.
Yeah.
And you think about how you show up for that, and you invest in them. I would say the way people usually, would invest in a romantic relationship.
Yeah.
And, like, just from a statistic standpoint, like, I don't know.
I'm going to keep my friends
You're
longer.
gonna have your, like, your girlfriends, like, your close friendships, like, are gonna outlast every romantic relationship you have, except of a few, maybe.
Yeah.
But I think that that's always something that's been so impressive to me about you.
Thank you. I think for me, friendship is always it's the top level, right? Getting to pick the people that you support and that support you, and thinking about our friendship now and how we were really good friends when we worked together, but now being able to turn to you and say, you know every facet of my brain, the good ones and the very, very deep, dark, bad ones. And now I have to, so deep and dark. I'm so deep and dark, so twisty. And, like, how do I problem solve this, and how do I get through this? Because I can talk to you about the business side of things, obviously the whatever fun things might be happening.
Yeah. And one thing that we share, I think, is our decision-making processes.
Yes.
We might do them differently, but we 100% will default to each other's decision-making process, like, at any moment, which is why it's so easy to travel together. And I think that was really, as an employee, I mean, I treated you a lot more like a partner, because I trusted your decision-making process, and you had so much direct contact with my clients in situations that I didn't. Like, she did all of our sales appointments, she answered the phone, and so whenever there was, let's say, an issue that had to be handled, she would present it to me, and then I'd be like, okay, and how do you want to solve this? And I mean, I can't even think of an instance in which I said, no, that's not how we're going to do it. I
Yeah.
was just like, okay, great. Like, I trust your decision-making process.
But the common, a lot of people say here, like, how did you show up and just like build this business overnight?
Oh my God.
That thought, and I mean, the thing that you guys might not know a lot of you Rochester people know this, but like, I had so many opportunities to succeed and fail and make mistakes and like make them in a very safe place where we were doing that together before I even came here. So I had done a lot of I'm doing a lot of new things. We're learning together.
Yes.
I'm taking my Des Moines experiences, things that are successful here.
I'm learning a ton from Whitney. I mean, it was one thing for you to be able to take ideas and work them within the structure of my business.
Yeah.
But you have a different business here that you've structured differently. And
Yeah.
so like we've adopted things from you and been like, oh, like that's working great for Whitney. Like, thank you so much.
See
I'll
that in
take
Rochester,
that.
and vice versa.
Yeah, so that's fun. And it's interesting too, comparing our markets. Des Moines and Rochester are actually incredibly similar in a lot of ways. But I think the way that our communities, I think some of the values are different, not better or worse, just different. And so that's something that you have to be really plugged into as a thought leader in your community and also as a business owner and know what would resonate with your community and what wouldn't. So there have been some pretty stark differences in how our businesses run based on that.
Yeah. I also think that we have a super healthy level of competition between the two of us.
Totally.
Yeah.
Definitely more than any other friendship I have because we are in the same market.
Yep.
And it's like there are direct comparisons. Like we could compare numbers in ways that like friendships, you know, I guess like other friendships it might be like, okay, I make X amount of money, you make X amount, and it's like, you know, that could be a comparison.
Yeah.
But for us it's like, well, how many shoots did you do this week? Or like, how many employees do you have? Or like, what's your average sale on this type of shoe? And it's been really, I think that it's the reason that it works for us is because we're both like, I know I'm a very competitive person. Are you competitive? Not me.
As you.
Yeah.
But I also like, for me, it keeps me going. It keeps me working my edge. Like we have such different business models.
Yes.
That there's not a lot of direct comparisons in anything outright.
Yes.
But I'm like, so if one person starts publicly speaking, the other person is like, hey, maybe I should do that. Or like, we're both like finding new ways to grow and improve and watching the other one do that and being like,
well,
maybe
like,
it's my turn.
I have a similar show at home called Mimosa Monday, and then Whitney came out with Wednesdays with Whitney, and like Whitney's like doing such a better job because she's consistent and like she shows up for you guys literally every week. Like it's freaking 9 o'clock and like we have like bled today. Like we've been up and out of the house early.
Bled. I made her go out in nature
Guys,
and it was like
the
worst thing that ever happened to her.
There were actual bugs on me. I had mud on my legs. I was like, I got like sun.
She was fine.
Guys, it was really hit or miss for a minute. But my point is that, you know, she is like really good at consistency and showing up consistently. And like maybe I shouldn't have a show that has like the name that it happens in the title. I don't know.
Maybe it should be like whenever I feel like it with Natalie.
Mimosas with Natalie.
Yeah.
But the thing I think the reason that it works for our friendship is because we can talk about it and we can be really open with each other. Like, hey, like, you're killing this and like I feel jealous about it. And then the other person can be like, are you stupid? Like this
just
thing,
get on it.
I'm jealous about
Do
this
it.
thing that you're doing. And it's like, oh yeah, like we're good at other things. But I think that that's an important, if you do have like competitiveness in your friendship, I think if you can't talk about it, like
totally
you're not really friends anymore.
But I think it's also the like I have a very big philosophy. And that it's if you're doing something that you can't tell your best friends about, I'm not like if you can't tell your parents, like obviously, or like you know they're like people.
Both of our parents are watching.
Hi Nina, where's
I'm
Michelle?
sure my dad's right next to my
mom.
It's fine.
But if you can't tell your best friend about what you're doing, good, bad, otherwise, then like stop doing it.
Yeah.
That's it. Like
or stop being friends with that person.
Yes.
Like, you have to pick.
Yeah.
Right?
You do have to pick.
Yeah, it depends
well,
on the
I
motivation.
pick, but I like to pick. Pick.
Yeah, you make choices.
Make choices.
That you
Again,
stand
that
by.
whole like decision making thing.
Right. But yeah, no, and it's cool too, like the term business bestie is something that we describe each other as frequently. And it's, I actually have, so Whitney's my business bestie in my industry. And then I also have another friend that I talk to about business and she is in a opposite industry I
Totally.
would describe, and like we get, and you have another business best, like we
Yeah.
have other
Y'all
people
know
too.
Emily.
And it's like so interesting. It's so valuable to have like a same industry. Like when I call her with an issue, I don't have to explain the concept of like a portrait package to her. Or like if someone wants to buy the raw files from me, like we don't need to talk about why that upsets me.
Yeah.
Whereas I can just like straight up launch into it, which is nice.
Yeah. I've taken to having so you know the friends where you just start talking
before they say
start
anything.
talking, and then sometimes you start talking about something you shouldn't start talking about, and then
And you're on speaker.
and then we're getting better about that.
It's fine. Yeah, it works. I think stating your intention immediately on the phone
Yeah.
is helpful. Like,
Gonna launch into
I'm
this.
about to vent, or are you sitting down, or I have 6 minutes
Am I on speaker
to talk at you. Are you down for this
I
interaction?
usually start with, this one needs to be all about me.
The amount of times you said that is so low.
It's like once every...
I mean, it's usually about me, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
We also have funny jokes like that.
Oh my god.
Always the main character.
So Whitney she's obsessed with personality tests. Like Enneagram is like literally her
My whole thing.
obsession.
I'm an 8.
And so we have very different personalities, even though I think we present very similarly. I think people would think we're very similar.
Yeah.
Do you guys think we're very similar?
We'll take a vote.
I'd be curious to hear the weigh in on that, but I think that we present similarly and we value our professionalism and like doing things for the community in the same way. And then like we have some really strong differences. Yeah.
Yeah, like she won't go outdoors. But
Guys,
she
I
did today
don't-
for me!
Like I don't get it, and I know that I'm in the minority there. Like I'm not gonna. People are not gonna be commenting on this. Like, stay inside, Nat. Like I totally support you. People are like,
Stay in your air conditioning!
Why is the pale girl so obsessed with
Fine.
being indoors? But
Let's end this because I have a feeling that the battery's gonna die and we're just gonna be done with this. Favorite friendship moment? Like one that, sorry, I know, just one that I was gonna steal California.
you can start.
Okay.
I gotta.
So we've done a ton of traveling together. I think we did a lot of traveling when we photographed a wedding in St. Thomas. Like we've, the Hamptons. We've been a ton of places. Sonoma. We did a lot of California weddings. We did San Francisco wedding. We did Venice Beach wedding.
Yep.
Well, yeah, it was in Venice Beach.
Yeah. San Francisco. You already said that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when we did the San Francisco wedding, we flew into LA and we drove up the coast in a Ford Mustang, like all Thelma and Louise style, except we lived. We need a new movie, ladies. We need a new movie. Like, why is that it? Like, why is this tragic story of 2 women running away from their abusive husbands, like, what we use? Can we reframe?
I've never seen that.
Okay, so you didn't know that was a terrible reference. I did.
Positive. It's like Golden Girls, but 2 of us.
Yeah, we Golden Girls up the coast in our Ford Mustang.
Named Ruby.
Natalie got sunburned on the first day
still
because she
have a
was
mark.
outside.
I don't know if
Yeah,
you're
you
gonna be able to
don't
see
show
it.
it.
It was
Don't
2
show
years
it.
ago. I still have a mark.
And like just the car time and stop it. Like really the car time. And of course we're both photographers, so we would just pull off to the side of the road when we saw something pretty and take photos of each other. That was kind of bliss.
That was, and like the little tile for this.
Yeah.
That was what that was from.
Well, and that was a stranger who of course had his camera out. And we were just like,
It was
here!
a dude, of course.
Take our
photographing
pictures.
nature
Yeah,
with
taking nature. And we were
birds.
like, could you photograph some people in that nature?
Yeah.
Because we don't photograph nature.
That photo's priceless.
That photo's the best. That's our friendship photo.
Yeah, mine are less specific.
Okay, you can just...
But I think it's, 2 things that I just thought of while you were sharing that. Number 1, like we actually follow each other. Like when we go out, when we're together, we bring a camera and like 4 outfits. Yeah. And that's not normal. Like we pack... I carry a backpack around when we're together filled with clothing and jewelry. Just in case, because sometimes you find like that perfect wall.
Hannah!
Or like the...
Oh my gosh! Intern Hannah!
Oh, Hannah.
Hi.
It's so good to see you, honey. Oh, that was a good time
Yeah,
back
that
in the
was. You were so
Pittsburgh.
helpful.
Oh my god, we just loved you and still do.
Still do. Okay, sorry. Backpack
no,
photos.
Yeah, so that's not normal, but like that's how we live. And like Hannah would know, like any photographer that, Megan Bartlett, was she your era? She was one of our interns for a amount of time.
There's 2 Megan Bartletts.
Oh.
Well, I don't know which one this is. I think this might be my college Megan Bartlett. But she could be.
That's random.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like that's a photographer's dream. Like traveling with a highly competent photographer that is like equally down to take photos at any moment and will make you look good and like will indulge you without judging you is like ridiculous.
Yeah. And Natalie always brings more outfits than I do.
Number 1. Yes. Number 2, my other favorite thing is like, I don't know if you've ever noticed this, and I don't think we've ever verbalized it, but every time that we've hung out since you were no longer an NSP employee, the first day of any get-together, we always have a business meeting. It's not always formal, but we always talk shop on the first day.
Yeah, we do.
And I feel like we are really good at being able to kind of help each other with whatever that one thing that's bugging us is in our business. Like, trying to take the next step on this. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Or I'm going down this path. Like, what do you think? And I feel like we both always like kind of leave with either more direction or like a new solution. Sometimes it's just nice to have a fresh set of ears and eyes on a problem, particularly someone that understands your decision-making process and our businesses inside and out.
And it's so much fun.
It's so fun.
It's
like
the most fun.
People don't understand like that it's...
I want to talk business.
I want it to be a work trip.
Yeah.
Like, I literally bring my laptop and I'm excited. There's a different type of work that you work on when you're a business owner. There's like working in your business and then working on it.
Yeah, it's
and
always
like
on it when we're together.
It's always on it. And it's like, it's so fun to have that perspective and to get to be creative and help each other and just sort of like share each other's wins.
Yeah.
And enjoy and help each other.
That's a good one.
It's so fun.
It's a really good
It's always
one.
the first day.
It is.
Yeah.
You have to get right to it. And then we talk about like, I don't know.
The other boys.
And your food. Actually, we talk about
Winston.
food a lot. I talk about Winston a lot.
Oh my god, we eat so well when we're together.
So much food. These cheeks shocks no one.
They're not. Oh, do you remember Jared Miller?
Of course I do.
Hi.
Hi. Shot your wedding together too. All of this. Okay, guys, the mosquitoes are coming out, and Nat's tolerance level probably
This
just
is
dropped. Yeah.
So it's so over.
Yeah, we're outside.
I need to
Okay,
be
we're gonna
indoors.
go indoors. So good to see you all. I'll be back next week on Wednesday because that's what I do. Okay.
And maybe I'll be on my Mimosa Monday.
Maybe start following Natalie. You'll see Mimosa Monday. All right, bye guys.
Bye.